This is ABC 7 News at Noon.
The WVII Fire Department was dispatched to Crowell Hill Road for a fire over the weekend. We have the details coming up. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. Also, we talked to the mayor of Brewer to get an update on the Brewer Riverwalk expansion project. That's coming up. And two rival soccer clubs in Indonesia played over the weekend, and it led to hundreds of hospitalizations and deaths. Details are coming up along with the rest of our stories. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. First, let's check in with meteorologist Devin Biggs. Devin?
Hey Susan, happy Monday afternoon. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Luigi and Fredericks, across from Eastern Maine Medical Center, serving the greater Bangor area for over 65 years. Alrighty, we had frost and freeze alerts that were in effect earlier this morning, and also that small craft advisory further down to the south as well. We'll see if we can get some of that to pop up here, but you get the general idea. Looks like a lot of this will be lasting for a little while yet, till about 8 p.m. as we head towards your Monday, as of course plenty of active surf along the coast. But otherwise, though, we have clouds from the southwest toward the north and east, so we'll be under a partly cloudy sky in a few spots, but otherwise a lot of sunshine today. Get outside and enjoy it. Some of those clouds will stay further down toward the south, tracking to the north and east as high pressure will keep us relatively clear today, but the clouds will start to move in later on tonight. So futurecast for today, a beautiful day, but those clouds will start to move in later on this evening with more on the way for the daytime tomorrow. The wind's kind of all over the place in the directions department, but otherwise at about 5 miles per hour in general. So overall, pretty calm today as you head out the door. Your forecast for today, not too bad. Lower 60s, mostly sunny skies. That west wind getting up to about 5 miles per hour. Later on tonight, lower 30s. We cool off, mostly clear of frost and freeze. Cannot be ruled out with the wind overall looking nice and calm. Tomorrow, lower 60s becoming partly cloudy. That south wind getting up to about 5 miles per hour. Hourly forecast for the rest of the afternoon period. A lot of sunshine. Temperatures in the 50s and 60s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Susan?
Thank you, Devin. A single vehicle accident in Sedgwick on Sunday left one man dead. According to the Hancock County Sheriff's Department, just after 7:30 last night, an accident was reported on Snows Cove Road. The initial investigation determined the vehicle was traveling south when it left the roadway, overcorrected, and hit a ditch. The vehicle struck several trees before landing on its roof. The driver, 47-year-old John Wallace of Brooksville, was pronounced dead at the scene. The cause of the crash is currently under investigation, but police say speed and alcohol are likely contributing factors. On Saturday, the WVII Fire Department was dispatched to Crowell Hill Road for a fire. Firefighters arrived to find the garage was fully engulfed and a neighboring home was smoking. According to WVII Fire Chief Walker Thompson, they believe the fire started due to an electrical problem caused by a tractor in the garage. The WVII Fire Department reported the home sustained some fire damage but has been deemed livable. Crews left the scene at around 12:30 Sunday morning. The residents of the home were able to safely evacuate and there were no injuries. The Brewer Riverwalk expansion project will add an additional 900 to 1,000 feet to the existing trail. The expansion will add improvements like Wi-Fi, security cameras, and more seating. Mayor Michelle Daniels says this will give the project and the people more chance to meet other members of the community.
I think it's just a place to draw everyone together and make you feel like a community. Everybody says good morning as you walk by. Even if you don't know each other, you are making friends along the way.
The project is expected to be complete by early October. Trees and flowers will be planted in the spring of 2023. Federal officials have pledged to help Hurricane Ian victims rebuild after the storm caused major damage. Officials promise a massive amount of federal disaster aid will be sent to Florida and the Carolinas. The FEMA administrator says the government will start with Florida, which was hit the hardest by Ian. President Joe Biden is expected to visit Florida Wednesday after first heading to Puerto Rico, which is still recovering from Hurricane Fiona's wrath. Dramatic footage shows the fights between fans of two rival soccer clubs in Indonesia, leading to hundreds of hospitalizations and deaths. The match of Indonesian Premier Soccer League teams Persebaya Surabaya and Arema Malang broke out in multiple scuffles at the end. Local police moved in to break up the fight, setting off tear gas with hundreds of panicked fans getting trampled at exit gates. Crowds also moved on police and vehicles. At least 174 people have died. 320 were transported to local hospitals, some dying on the way. The death toll is expected to increase. Coming up on ABC 7 News at noon, key leaders from the University of Maine introduced a $28 million renovation project on Saturday. We'll take a look when we return.
Did you know that it's possible to buy the wrong type of flooring for your home? Whether you're a do-it-yourselfer or professional contractor, the experts at Don DeKalb Mainwood Floors are here to help, offering solid pro advice from choosing the right material and color to installation. Don DeKalb features the highest quality hardwood flooring sourced from lumber right here in Maine, from Maine traditions. Not only will you get a floor you'll love, you'll get a floor that will last. Don DeKalb Mainwood Floors, buy from the best, forget the rest.
Offensive and divisive. That's Paul LePage's legacy. But it's not just what he said as governor. It's what he did. LePage slashed funding for cancer screenings for women. He refused to invest in clean energy, kicked over 1,000 seniors off their prescription drug program, and even opposed funding to Meals on Wheels. So, if that's what Paul LePage did last time he was governor, we can't send him back. The top funder of A Better Maine is the Democratic Governors Association.
If you've been hurt in a car accident, watch out.
Watch out. The insurance company may try to tell you that you don't need a lawyer.
Watch out. The insurance company may try to settle before you're done with all your medical treatments.
Don't trust that insurance company after your accident. You could miss out on a lot of money. Call the twos and we'll watch out for you.
Lowry and Associates watched out for me and got me $275,000.
Call the twos. We win for you.
If you're hurt in an accident, what do? Call 222-2222.
Jay Leno live in concert.
Researchers at Washington University report that 100,000 years from now, the average size of the human head will greatly increase. They say the larger the head and larger the jaw, the more sexually attractive people will be. So I am 100,000 years ahead of my time. That's right.
Saturday, October 22nd, Collins Center for the Arts, Orono, Maine. Tickets on sale now at waterfrontconcerts.com.
Why do thousands of customers take the drive to Newport for all their shoes? Because Comfort Shoes & More has the styles you want, and they also have trained podorthists on staff to help you with all your footwear and arch-support issues. We provide free foot evaluations by people who care about fitting you with the most comfortable shoes you will ever own. We have shoes in stock up to 6C and size 17, from safety shoes and boots, running, walking, casual or dress. We have it all at Comfort Shoes & More, 19 Moosehead Trail in Newport, across from Irving.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Leaders from the University of Maine put on their hard hats to introduce a $28 million renovation project. A.J. Douglas has the details.
In an effort to bring two historic buildings back to life, the University of Maine Orono plans to use $28 million to renew Coburn and Holmes Halls into boutique hotels. Both buildings have been vacant for almost a decade.
And having them empty simply doesn't send the message we'd like to send, which is that we're a vibrant, energized, busy campus.
We save two historic buildings, we help build the regional economy, and we have guests come, which is always a good thing.
The project is funded by a government historic preservation grant and partner donors. The university has partnered with real estate development company Radnor Property Group, LLC, and investment management firm Harrison Street. Construction is expected to take 18 months. However, Mundi says students will benefit along the way.
As this begins to take more shape, we do expect to be able to have internships and work experiences and real-life learning around the development.
The renovation project is expected to host conferences, provide lodging for students, family visits, and more. Orono Town Manager Sophie Wilson says a development on this scale is just what the town needs.
We are growing, and we're growing in ways that make sense for our community. They considered the needs of campus, the needs of the larger community.
The boutique hotel doors are expected to open by 2024.
The Department of Transportation is considering whether to strengthen the Deer Isle Causeway to protect it against rising sea levels. Craig Colson reports.
It's hard to beat the view from the Deer Isle Causeway on days like today, but when the weather is severe, the water can cover the road with rocks and debris, forcing it to close. That can cause big problems for residents, and is also why the state is considering strengthening the roadway to prepare for rising sea levels over the decades ahead. One interesting idea came up at a recent meeting from a local fisherman. He thinks it would be a good idea to raise a portion of any future causeway above the water to allow any baby scallops or other sea creatures to come from that side of the bay to the other.
If we can get a bridge across part of it to allow that cooler water from the eastern main coastal current through and the larvae that it carries with it.
Marsden says there are hundreds of species of aquatic life that float in the currents before dropping to the bottom where they continue to grow. But they've been blocked from reaching the other side since the causeway was built back in the 1920s.
Getting things open back up, allowing, it to breathe.
Those environmental concerns will be considered as the DOT moves ahead with any future plan. In Deer Isle, Stonington, this is Craig Colson reporting for ABC 7 and Fox 22.
Now with Monday's business news, here's Leo Jonathan.
OPEC Plus is set to decide this week on whether to slash production by more than 1 million barrels a day, which will increase the price of oil. According to the Wall Street Journal, grocery shoppers are seeing fewer deals in the aisles. The research firm Information Resources says a little more than 20% of grocery items were part of sales in the third quarter of this year. That's down from 25.7% 3 years ago. And Nike says it's got too much inventory in China and the U.S. The athletic apparel company announced a drop in revenue in China in the August quarter, falling by 16%. I'm Leo Jonathan with Monday's Business on ABC 7.
Coming up, the Bangor school system is implementing new ways to keep students safe. We'll explain when we return. We'll be right back.
If you were hurt because of exposure to the toxic water at Camp Lejeune, Congress has made it possible for you to recover a settlement. Former Marine attorney James Beardsley wants to help you.
Call now to see if you qualify. Call 222-2222.
For the first time, Shark Tank goes live Friday, September 23rd on ABC.
Sponsored locally by Comfort Shoes and More. 19 Moosehead Trail, Newport. More than 40 years of helping people out of foot pain.
Don't believe the lies from Washington's special interests. Jared Golden's a different type of Democrat. I respect that Jared served in the Marines. Jared's a friend of law enforcement, and we definitely can trust him to keep our communities and families safe. Jared is standing strongly against defunding the police.
This endorsement was not a given. Congressman Golden's earned it.
Mr. Golden will definitely fight for us and be in our corner and have our backs, absolutely.
I'm Jared Golden, and I'm honored to approve this message.
Did you know that it's possible to buy the wrong type of flooring for your home? Whether you're a do-it-yourselfer or professional contractor, the experts at Don DeKalb Mainwood Floors are here to help, offering solid pro advice from choosing the right material and color to installation. Don DeKalb features the highest quality hardwood flooring sourced from lumber right here in Maine, from Maine traditions. Not only will you get a floor you'll love, you'll get a floor that will last. Don DeKalb Mainwood Floors, buy from the best, forget the rest. Feel the difference of alpaca apparel from the Blue Alpaca Ranch and Store in Belfast. Stop by their ranch location to interact with these amazing animals and enjoy the beautiful Maine outdoors with your very own alpaca walk. Shop in-store or online today and take advantage of their free nationwide shipping. With their incredible selection of socks, sweaters, hats, and more, experience the unique qualities that alpaca fiber brings with the Blue Alpaca. Feel the difference.
Welcome to Montana, a place where the horizon never ends, full of friendly folk just trying to do right. But in the untamed wilderness, you never know what's going to be coming around the bend. One thing's for certain, once you set foot in this place, you may never want to go home again. And you might not.
Keep on the sunny side.
After being awarded a grant from the Maine Department of Education, the Schoodic Institute received a visit from the commissioner. Matthew Juronczyk has more.
Maine Education Commissioner Pender Macon visited the Schoodic Institute in Winter Harbor Friday morning to spend time with students taking part in the Institute's Education Adventure program. The program was funded from the Maine Department of Education's Outdoor Learning Initiative. Macon says this type of learning is what works best for the kids.
I mean, this is exactly the type of learning experience that would stay with a person for the rest of their lifetimes. They are in beautiful nature, they are using technology, they're integrating writing, art, science, all of the skills that we want them to learn, and they're doing it all together at one time.
The program helps students learn more about nature topics, including climate change and mapping. This program received the funding from the state through the Maine Outdoor Learning Initiative. Schoodic Institute CEO and President Nick Fisichella says he's grateful for the opportunity.
And we're really thankful to the state of Maine for the Maine Outdoor Learning Initiative, which is helping to support schools and students coming here for this program and getting kids outside of the classroom, so beyond the walls of a classroom, to have these really meaningful learning experiences.
And while the Schoodic Institute does use online technology to help students learn, they also like to use the environment around them and draw pictures.
It's been great because they also get to be outside, and learning outside really helps them connect to the world around them.
And the kids love this hands-on learning.
It's been great, to be honest. Being here has been really fun. It's good to learn about the nature that's around us and hiking and all these different trails.
It's been pretty fun. We've been learning how sciencey things.
Macon is excited for what's to come.
We are moving, into an exciting recovery phase from some of the hardest years we've experienced in public education. These are kids who are collaborating, they are outdoors, they're experiencing deep and meaningful learning. And so it's fabulous, and I'm full of gratitude.
Matthew Juronsik, ABC7 and Fox 22.
The Bangor school system is implementing new ways to keep its students safe. Devin Dagnall has more.
Learning can only happen when kids feel safe, and I think they do here. And I think the tools that we've identified and the things that we've put in place will only help line us up with the district.
The Bangor school system has completely overhauled how it's keeping its students safe. One of the latest changes the school system has made is partnering with Centegix, a company that is innovating how schools communicate within their own walls and with the authorities. Centegix produces cards roughly the same size as a credit card with a single button on the front. According to Ray Finney, Bangor's school safety director, the button allows teachers to more efficiently send notifications to officers of any threats that may be in the school.
This is actually very easy in that they'll pick up their lanyard that they all wear, they'll take their card, push a button multiple times, and it automatically calls.
When the button is pressed 3 times, it will alert the administration of any low-level threats in the high school. Pressing the button 9 times will immediately notify authorities that there's a higher-level threat.
According to Paul Butler, Bangor High School's principal, Bangor schools are the first schools in all of New England to implement the innovative Centegix cards.
It's kind of exciting to be on that leading edge, but it's a reminder that we're in a new age of ensuring safety. So we've taken a new step to make sure we're as prepared as anybody to manage any situation that comes up.
In Bangor, I'm Devin Dagnall, reporting for ABC7 and Fox 22.
A museum in Bradley is taking Mainers back to a simpler time. Devin Dagnall has that story.
To be able to remember the past, to know the difficulties, to know some of the hardship they had, but also just some of the enjoyment of just the simpler life.
With log cabins, smokehouses, wagon rides, and a lot of volunteers, the Maine Forest and Logging Museum is giving its visitors an idea of what life was like back in the 1800s.
Living History Days is a weekend at the museum where dozens of volunteer reenactors put on a display of how people in the 1800s would go throughout their days.
Well, we have a lot of wonderful volunteers. This museum is volunteer-based. People who just love reenacting the past and sharing it.
Herb Crosby, one of the volunteers at the museum, says that his favorite attraction at the museum is the historically accurate water-powered mill. But he says he would be remiss if he did not also include the fully functioning Lombard log hauler.
I think we can learn some skills that we've forgotten, maybe. We actually lived a pretty sustainable lifestyle in the 1800s. We didn't have electricity, didn't have gasoline for cars, yet we lived a pretty good life. Part of it was water power. Maine had 2,000 water powers in 1850, and they worked fine.
Apart from the machinery, The museum also has demonstrations spanning a wide array, from candlestick making to Civil War medical practices. Ben Strickland, a volunteer that has offered his help since the age of 3, says that the museum is an excellent change of pace from modern life and a reminder of how simple life can really be.
For people to be able to see, you can do these people live this way, they did these things, they didn't have our tech, but people have always been able to find a way to make things work. And, there's a simplicity that's important in life, I think. In
Bradley, I'm Devin Dagnold, reporting for ABC 7 and Fox 22.
When we return, Devin Biggs has your 5-day forecast.
Tomorrow morning on Star 97.7, Paul Dupuis has the music and fun. Sonny Shepard brings you Star 97.7 local news. And Steve McKay with the weather. Turn on your radio and get the Star treatment with Star 97.7.
When it looks the part, but isn't the real thing, that's Fool's Golden. Jared Golden promised he'd be an independent fighter against Biden's spending, but then cast a deciding vote for Biden's newest spending bill that experts say will hike taxes $1 billion on those making under $50,000. Golden may think we're fools, but his recent vote shows Mainers what he's really made of. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
I'm Jim with Lowry & Associates. Winning car accident cases is what we do. Check out a few of our big wins.
I broke my wrist and they got me $185,000. What did the twos do for you?
I injured my hip and they got me $260,000. What did the twos do for you?
I needed multiple surgeries and Lowry & Associates got me $350,000.
Call the twos. We win for you.
If you're hurt in an accident, what do you do? Call 222-2222.
Your favorite restaurants for half off. It's half off dining from Fox 22 and ABC 7. Here's this week's featured deal.
The Farmer's Table in Corinna brings you outstanding breakfasts, lunches, and dinners made from farm-grown fresh ingredients. Dinner specials are available every day. Enjoy our homemade desserts, and above all, bring your appetite to the Farmer's Table in Corinna.
On sale Thursday at 9 a.m. A limited supply available half off dining from Fox 22 and ABC 7.
Tomorrow morning on Star 97.7, Paul Dupuis has the music and fun. Sonny Shepard brings you Star 97.7 local news. And Steve McKay with the weather. Turn on your radio and get the Star treatment with Star 97.7.
Over the last couple of years, I've fallen in love with pretzel rolls. It only makes sense since I love pretzels and I love rolls. You know, you don't get a body like this by eating lettuce wraps. The problem is they're not always easy to find. So rather than searching for them or waiting until they happen to be back in stock, we came up with a shortcut way to make them that's super easy and amazingly good. We start by whacking a can of refrigerated biscuits on the counter. After separating them, we roll them into balls. Then we score the top of each ball with an X. You want to make sure you don't cut it too deep though. Now, we simmer these in a pot of boiling water that we've added some baking soda to. You see, simmering these in the boiling water will give our rolls a pretzel-like crust. Then we place them on a baking sheet with the X up. Brush them with a beaten egg and sprinkle on some salt. Once they're baked, what we end up with is the most incredible fresh-tasting roll ever. They're great as is or slathered with lots of butter. You can even use them to make a tasty Bavarian-style sandwich. To get the recipe for our homemade pretzel rolls, all you have to do is visit our website. I know you'll be glad you did. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a better than store-bought way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Now here's a look at some upbeat stories making headlines today.
Rare fossa triplets have emerged from their den 12 weeks after they were born at UK's Chester Zoo. The tiny cat-like carnivores, one male and two females, are the first ever born at the zoo. Fossa can only be found on the island of Madagascar, where as few as 2,600 remain. They're listed as vulnerable to extinction. Thousands gathered on the streets of Montevideo Friday night to mark the 30th anniversary of the first LGBT rally held in Uruguay. Attendants waved rainbow flags and danced in celebration. Uruguay's first Pride rally was held in 1992. And a light show lit up the Al Wasl Dome at the official opening of Expo City, Dubai over the weekend. The new city is car-free, accessible on foot or by using buggies and bicycles. Among the attractions are a rotating observation tower and a cascading waterfall. And those are some of the other stories making headlines on ABC 7.
In celebration of Arttober, Downtown Bangor Sidewalk Art Festival is back. Due to popular demand, the Downtown Bangor First Fall Sidewalk Art Festival welcomed local artists and vendors Saturday. The festival is the first of several events to kick off Arttober, a month-long celebration for the arts for the public to enjoy. One organizer says the event brings people from around the entire state.
And if there's one thing that downtown Bangor loves and appreciates, it's the arts. So we thought, why not just have a celebration and have people from all over the state come down, set up and showcase their talent and the things that they're passionate about.
To learn more about Arttober events, visit downtownbangor.com. Now let's check your full forecast with Devin Biggs. Devin?
Alrighty, happy Monday afternoon. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Scott's Recreation, New England's largest trailer dealer, home of Maine's lowest camper and tractor prices, with locations in Turner, Manchester, Herman, and Orono, Maine. Alright, we had some frost and freeze alerts in effect earlier this morning. Those have since backed off, and now it's that small craft advisory located right about in here. But further down toward the south along the coast, so we have gale warnings, we have storm warnings in effect. An active system, though, causing some wave heights to really be noted, though, courtesy of that system moving in. But otherwise, for us, we're not noticing it at this point. We're seeing a lot of sunshine out there, maybe a few clouds. Further down toward the south, we'll be under a mostly sunny sky all day long, courtesy of high pressure, which will keep the clouds from this system right here, located here right at bay. And that means some nice weather will continue to stick around. Wave heights are active in a few spots, which is why we have these alerts in effect, ranging from around 5 to even up to 13 feet in a few spots, though, and higher surf being noted further down toward the south. Water temperatures, we haven't checked on these in a while. We're in the upper 50s right now. Those will continue to fall as we head towards fall and eventually winter, while further out towards sea, looking pretty warmer at this point. Back here at home, 64 degrees is our average high, with lower to middle 60s on the way for the next few days. So 72 degrees for your Thursday, upper 60s for your Friday. Then we cool off as we head towards your Saturday and also into your Sunday. Meanwhile, though, the fall foliage report, we're starting to notice more of these fall colors. We're around a 50 to 75% threshold, or other areas just farther back in a 50 to 75% threshold. So overall, fall's starting to show up around here, so get outside and enjoy those fall colors. We usually peak around mid-October, so we're starting to get close to that, though, so definitely get outside and enjoy the fall colors. Take some beautiful pictures as well. We have plenty of fall foliage to be noted for. Otherwise, though, futurecast for today, a beautiful day on the way today, with a mostly sunny sky, with a partly cloudy sky in a few spots later tonight, but other areas will remain mostly clear during the overnight period, which will allow some frost and freeze conditions to develop. Then a partly cloudy sky on the way for the daytime tomorrow. Some rain will try to sneak in on Tuesday night, but most of it will hold off until we head towards the day for your Wednesday. So your forecast for today, lower 60s, mostly sunny, with that west wind getting up to, or that north wind, excuse me, getting up to about 5 miles per hour. Lower 30s tonight, mostly clear, that frost and freeze on the way, with the wind overall looking nice and calm. Alrighty, a Scott's Recreation extended forecast Tuesday, we're partly cloudy, highs in the lower 60s, with the middle 60s returning on Wednesday, with a slight chance for rain showers. We're partly cloudy Thursday, highs in the low 70s, and upper 60s Friday, with a chance for rain.
Thank you, Devin. Definitely chillier when I'm out taking the dog for a walk. That's all for ABC 7 News at noon. Thanks for watching. I'm Susan Farley. We'll see you this evening with Peter Dubois and Beth Jones on ABC 7 News at 6. Have a great afternoon.